It's Madden NFL 24 on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Miami Dolphins and the Baltimore Ravens. And it's all up next.
Some might say it's cold. Others, like myself and my partner, we say this is football weather as we welcome you to chilly M&T Bank Stadium near the Inner Harbor in Baltimore. Today we've got a compelling AFC matchup for you as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. At CD, it was a bit of a hectic offseason for the Ravens. The questions at quarterback, they went all the way till draft night. But in the end, Lamar Jackson is back, and these folks in Maryland, they couldn't be happier.
No, they couldn't, and listen, they'll take a hectic offseason if it ends this way. Lamar Jackson back, taking every snap for their Baltimore Ravens. Brand new offensive coordinator. Don't be surprised if the ball's in the air a little bit more than what we've seen in the past.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Dolphins, we know about the weapons on offense on the perimeter. But you think this is a team, Charles, that needs to step it up defensively to go to the next level?
I do, and they have the pieces in place. They have excellent players. Perhaps the new system that's been brought in will give them that edge that they need in the AFC East.
Here's Jason Sanders now to get this one started, and off we go from M&T Bank Stadium. This taken in at the goal line. And he returns this to the 22. The Ravens offense set to go to work, and it's Lamar Jackson now in his 6th NFL campaign who will lead the way.
And he remains the league's premier rushing threat and one of the biggest playmakers among quarterbacks. His goal each and every season, continue to expand his game as a passer and become well-rounded. All those highlight reel plays you see, they come off the fact that he can run it, throw it, and scares defenses every time he takes a snap.
DC, ready? DC.
The drive starts with a carry by Edwards. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down now.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Here's 2nd and 10. They run once more with Edwards. And not much doing there, maybe a yard up to the 23. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Jackson. That is caught. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. I have to imagine many defensive coordinators had a sleepless night trying to game plan ways to slow down Lamar Jackson. What do you think is the most effective way to try to do it?
Well, you've got to be a little counterintuitive because normally you're sitting on the wide receiver 1, aren't you? But with Lamar Jackson, I'd sit on the tight end. He loves to throw into the middle of the field, loves that position as his #1 target. Take that away and hope you have a corner who can stand up man-to-man against a speed guy on the perimeter.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Jackson throwing complete there to Flowers. And he's got another 1st down as he's brought down at the Dolphins' 40. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory right at the 40. Jackson going to keep it running right. Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
And running, gets through, and now an opening. Still on his feet. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. It's a scintillating run by Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Well, that was all Lamar Jackson all the time on that drive, both through the air and in the end with the touchdown run.
Yeah, how about him doing things a little bit on the reverse side there, Brandon, because he softened him up throwing the football and opened up the running lanes. And when he gets a little bit of a sliver, he's gone. And that's exactly what he did there.
Justin Tucker for the extra point. And the Ravens lead at 7-0. That time a 6-play drive. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The Dolphins set to go on offense for the first time behind their 25-year-old quarterback, now in his 4th NFL season, Tua Tagovailoa.
You want to talk about a driven player, partner. This guy is absolutely that person. He doesn't just have goals in this game. He wants to be remembered among the best to play the position, and he treats every game as an audition for that. It's a lofty goal to set for yourself, but we've seen his drive lead to some impressive games from him. Perhaps another one is in store today.
Tua and the Dolphins now with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. That one caught by Tyreek Hill. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
Well, when you're facing a receiver like this, you always come into a game thinking, we've got to put our best corner on him. We've got to find a way to get him off his routes, limit his touches. But that plan, not working too well on this opening drive. That's already 2 catches for him, and this one, good for a first down.
Here's Tagovailoa on 1st and 10. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And going deep for Hill. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Tua setting up shop to throw again. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 23. 18 big yards on that one, and a Miami first. Well, on 3rd down, he wanted to go to one of his most dependable targets, and that's who he found, his tight end there, to pick up the first, Charles.
And you used the proper word there, dependable, and sometimes spectacular, because tight ends nowadays, they can do it all. But they're the guys you trust, especially across the middle of the field where there's traffic. He delivers, and they pick up nice yardage.
Getting in there for the tackle, Marcus Williams.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. H-in here, they stay on the ground. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. The pickup goes for 13 and sets him up first and goal. Couple of nice carries back-to-back here, establishing the ground game a bit.
Yeah, these aren't bare-bones runs now. I mean, they're getting substantial yardage, the kind of yards you're looking for, right? Let's go ahead and use a cliche. Stay ahead of the change, right? 5 or more yards each time. That's what you're looking for in setting a tone and getting your offensive line going.
Good sign on the opening drive. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
A line of scrimmage, once again the 5 as they get ready for second and goal. They'll run for the first time with Raheem Mostert. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Call it a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here, brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play.
He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. Braxton Berrios from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are able to match the opening drive touchdown against them with one of their own.
They went 5 wide in that offensive set. And racing, going 3 wide's a big deal. To go 5, how about the way that they finish things off?
Did you just fit a race car reference into the game?
Zoom, zoom. How about the way that you play? When you go 5 wide, that means you're going fast now.
Zoom, zoom indeed. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Hill shedding the tackle. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. Baltimore set to take over here for their second possession of the game. So both of these teams, Charles, coming off touchdowns now, but this offense, they just had to stand on the sideline, watch their opponent author a really impressive drive to reach the end zone.
Yeah, and I think you're not telling yourself the truth if you don't think there's some one-upsmanship going on right now, because they just had their touchdown answered by a drive of double-digit plays that also found the end zone. Now they want to do something even more impressive to answer that one.
Here's a throw to his running back. It's complete. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season opener opponent. And they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a different story. Long night.
From just shy of midfield, here's a 2nd and 5. Jackson, options out left. And a good run here as he'll run all the way down to the 40-yard line. So it's the big left tackle who gets tagged with a hold.
And sometimes you're actually executing the block well, and he starts to slip off of you, and instinctively you reach out and grab him. And when it's done like that, it's often seen by the official and called.
And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. 5 yards will get them back to the original line of scrimmage, but now they're looking at 3rd and 10.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turn around and tossing it to the runner, but where the real intrigue is, Can they seal the edge, whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end, in the direction they want to run the football? If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Almost feels like anything you can do, we're going to try and match or do better. We've already seen one touchdown pass from the opposition. They tried to equal it on that throw.
Fourth down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. Braxton Berrios deep for Miami. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Dolphins' drive will start deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. Tua now on 1st down. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Travis Jones busting through to get him for a loss of 6.
In every game we talk about what are going to be the keys as we go into it. Maybe that's a key for their defense today. Pressure the quarterback and make sure you play a good zone defense behind them, and they get their first sack of the contest.
Here's Tua. Over the middle, complete. It's Hill. And he's going to get this from the 6 out to the 12. A pickup of 6 as they double their workspace. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Well, that's one way to convert on third down, picking up 26 yards. These two teams all tied after one. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Up the middle they go with Mostert. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Tagovailoa to throw on 2nd down here. Oh, this is intercepted, intended for Hill. Picked off by Marlon Humphrey. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play. While they come out and take a look at him, we will step aside for just a moment. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. After the interception, here's Jackson. Completes it to Aguilar. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. So from the 22, here's 2nd and 2. Throwing is Jackson. Complete to Likely. His first catch, good for 8 and a 1st down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Now Jackson. That's complete left side to Bateman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. It's a good gain of 11, sets them up first and goal. This offense can certainly move quickly when they want to. 3 plays, 3 pass completions. In the blink of an eye, they've got a first and goal.
Almost felt like a lightning bolt hit in this game, didn't it? For them to get downfield that quickly. And now first and goal, expect them to attack right here on this play.
On first and goal, they'll try the action left. And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Ravens have taken the lead.
This defense, so many things to worry about in the red zone area, but you'd have to almost think that Lamar Jackson running the football, that might be number 1.
It should be number 1, and in this portion of the field where things shrink a little bit because the receivers can't run past anyone because they'll run out of real estate, you should have all eyes on Lamar Jackson when the ball is snapped and try and keep him back in the pocket.
Yeah, I don't think that they were surprised he was running it there. They just couldn't stop him, and he ends up in the end zone.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Miami's offense set and ready to go. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes and get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
That's tough to play zone defense when they can just curl up right there in front of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we talk about finding the soft spot. Defensively, how do you make sure they don't find the soft spot like they did there?
Tough to do because what they normally will do is run routes that'll pull you out of that spot that they want to get into. That's what we call not taking the cheese, right? Don't go for the mousetrap. That's hard to do because when you see a guy cutting that in that direction, you tend to go towards him. Had an open man that time and ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. The offense on third down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Off of play action, Tagovailoa. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
And a 5-yard gain gets him to the 42.
Not a huge play, but I think they're more than happy with how it turned out. Don't be surprised to see them revisit that call because there was a lane there for more than just 5 yards. Put it in your back pocket and break it out when you need it later.
From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd down and 5.
Tua sets up to pass it.
That's going to be caught downfield by Hill.
And he'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 30-yard line.
A run with Mostert up the middle.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage.
Stopped in his tracks and given a loss on that play by Patrick Queen.
That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Second down. Here's Mostert again. And some space here. And just good downhill running there as he'll take this to the 15-yard line.
17 yards for the Dolphins there as they've got themselves a first down.
Well, that's how you get right up off of the mat, because on the last play, they stoned him in the backfield and dropped him for a loss. But he's the type of guy that scared me a little bit because he's not daunted. Just got right back up, showed some confidence, and picked up a first down with his very next run.
On first down, Tagovailoa to the goal line, but it's incomplete.
That certainly appeared to be a play call where they were just trying to make second down, second and short. I think they thought the coverage was off a little bit more than it was. Nice job there pressing up on it and forcing the incompletion.
Now a 2nd and 10. On the handoff, this is Mostert.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a first down.
And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. They'll get 2 out of that run, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and goal.
Now that's the defense that they were looking for, being able to get extra bodies to the point of attack to deal with the big guy carrying the ball. You really don't want to be in a position where it's a one-on-one tackle with him.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Play action, now it's Tua. They fights him off. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami.
Alec Ingold.
A 2-yard touchdown grab.
And the Dolphins are an extra point away from evening this one up.
So they go play action, 3 tight ends out there in the heavy set.
Well, they showed everything that suggested running play. Just what you mentioned, 3 tight ends, heavy formation, able to go play action off of it, because if you're a defender, you're thinking it's a running play with that much beef on the field.
But they passed it, and they got 6 out of it. Extra point up and good by Sanders, and we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
A lot of time for this unit to game plan on the sideline after that drive that they watched the other side just score. But remember, last time they were out, they scored as well. We'll see if they can seize that momentum right back.
And they have had a lot of time to cool off from reaching the end zone the last time. So have they been able to keep themselves mentally sharp and into this game, even though they haven't been on the field? And you and I both know, one big play, though, gets them right back up to that level.
They'll run with Edwards here to begin the drive. And this will leave them a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
From the 35, here's 2nd down and 1.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
2nd down and a yard.
To throw is Jackson. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Flowers. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. To throw is Jackson on first down.
And this will be well too low for him to bring in. It's incomplete.
Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again.
He finds his man. It's Charlie Kohler.
They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. From midfield now, here's Jackson.
That's going deep for Bateman. Oh, he had a man open. He overshot him. It's incomplete.
Looked like they were set up defensively in a zone coverage, but somehow they found a seam because that receiver all alone. By rights, that should have been a touchdown, but somehow this ball's overthrown.
Out now is a punter, Jordan Stout.
He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And this one goes angling out of bounds, and it will be spotted inside the 30-yard line.
The Dolphins taking over now late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Looking to pass. Tua. Completes it to the tight end, Smythe. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Here's Tagovailoa to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 13 yards as they've got the connection working. His 2nd catch in a row, 1st down. Now Tua. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown Dolphins.
Tyreek Hill on the touchdown pass from Tua. And the Dolphins will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half.
And that touchdown gives them a touchdown lead before they attempt the extra point. What a great way to end the half.
Yeah, great job to put themselves in front, and now see on the sideline, special teams defense scrambling, saying we want to preserve this for the final moments of this 2nd quarter. Sanders now to add the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll make the score 21-14. Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it ends with a touchdown pass to Tyreek Hill.
Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Raven offense going to take over late in this first half. And with them trailing, there is still enough time to try to string a few plays together, maybe get into field goal range.
They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they get it right at the 30-second mark of this first half. Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6. Here's Jackson to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Flowers. The Ravens going to use the second of their timeouts. So that means they're down to one remaining here as we head toward halftime. They'll throw on first down with Jackson. It's caught by Aguilar. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. From the left hash, this from 46. Tucker's kick is good, and that'll bring him back within 4. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
So still time for the kickoff here. 1 second to go in the half as this one is away. So we've reached halftime here in a 4-point game. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everyone, to our brand new studios here in downtown Orlando in the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a couple of high-octane offenses getting it done in the first half. Both teams had no problems moving the football. And you'd have to think, the team whose defense shows up in the second half is going to be the one who walks out of here with a victory.
Okay, Coach, thanks as always. This one's still anyone's game as we welcome you back for quarter number 3. It's been a shootout so far. We'll see which defense can make the adjustments as we get back underway in the second half. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They've reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, partner.
Yeah, they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Setting to throw on first down is Tua. He'll swing this out to Mostert. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay gain.
On second down, Tua. And he completes it to Berrios. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 27 yards there, a first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up, not that time. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Tua going to throw. They set up the screen. Achane has it. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Oh, it's a wobbler here. No returning this one. It sails out of bounds, and they'll spot it right at the 20. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at the 20. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. That is caught. Rashawn Bateman. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards.
And another thing that makes the comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Jackson, option right. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So following the hold, they're in a bit of a hole here with a 1st and 20. Jackson. On target to his man, likely. It's a big play, yet amazingly, because of how far they had to go, they're still looking at a second down here.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
On second down, it's Edwards. And he'll get it out to midfield. Let's say, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Able to get the 1 yard he needed, but nothing more.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38.
A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the first.
It looked like almost a miscommunication defensively because once he decided to keep it, he had pretty smooth sailing.
Yeah, it became a question of, wait a minute, who's got the quarterback? And when you talk about miscommunication, it's supposed to be called assignment football on the defensive side of the ball. But the assignment gets mixed up. That's the end result.
And he is going to lose yardage here. The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long.
Well, that's not exactly how they drew that one up, nor practiced it, because on first down, you're trying to get some yardage to set up 2nd and 3rd down calls. In this case, had to drop it off to his running back. But, boy, they closed quickly on that one and stopped him behind the line of scrimmage.
Here's Edwards again on 2nd down.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Buried behind the line by Christian Wilkins. We've seen him escape similar situations earlier in the game and get away for pretty good yardage. At that time, they get him down.
Yeah, they've had enough evidence that he can get away and run for good yardage, haven't they? That time it felt like, okay, enough of this. Let's play it the right way and get him on the ground before he does any damage.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And that will keep this a 4-point game.
Well, he might be the best kicker the game's ever seen, and we've seen him hit from 66, which is the all-time record. But anything 60-plus, that's a very low percentage kick. Don't tell him he doesn't believe it, but this one winds up no good.
The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field.
No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
So they tried the 59-yarder and missed it, and now this offense starts just 1 yard shy of midfield.
On 1st and 10, it's Mostert. Down to about the 45.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now.
Here's Tua. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback.
And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And the way their last drive ended, boy, it was frustrating. They had a pretty good drive going. It was sustained, and then it stalled out, Charles, and they missed the field goal and got nothing out of it.
Is that insult to injury? Because they had such a sustained drive, as you noted. So you know for the head coach, it almost felt like a little bit of failure to send out the field goal unit and then to not even see the ball go through the post. What a bummer on that last drive for them. Got to pick themselves up from that one.
And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Again, it's Edwards. Fights him off. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the Dolphins beef up the secondary here as they look to stop him on third down. Now it's Jackson. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a fourth down. Well done.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to kick it away. And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return, and it'll be Dolphin football. We couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, one-score game. 1st and 10 here. On the ground, it's Mostert to start the drive. They'll get it across the 35. It'll be second down.
Well, sometimes as a running back, you've got to be able to improvise when the hole's not where you expect it to be. But in this case, there wasn't any improvisation that he could do that was going to work. Kind of like if you're trying to be a comedian on open mic night at the Improv and you run into a tough crowd.
Going to the air, Tagovailoa. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield at man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Throwing now is Tagovailoa. He's got his target. That's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 27 yards there on a very nice 3rd down conversion.
With the kind of game he's had so far, you had to know that on 3rd down that they would be looking his way, and they did, for big yardage and a 1st down. I think the defense fell asleep at the switch on that one. I would have doubled him, tripled him, anything to keep the ball out of his hands.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
They hand it off to Mostert. And maybe a little over pursuit there as he's able to take this down to the 25-yard line.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Now Tua on the bootleg here. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's second down.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Back to the air on second down, Tagovailoa. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI.
So pass interference the call, and that does not look to be going over too well on the defensive side.
Or on their sideline, because I believe their head coach is saying right now, hey, you've got to call that both ways.
Out of the gun, here's a give to Achane.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
Right back to Achane on second down.
A gain of a yard gets them back where they started. Now it's 3rd and 10.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit on 6 of their 8 tries. Very good. This is 3rd and 10. Tagovailoa working out of the gun. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Dolphins are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that certainly appears to be a critical conversion right there because not only do they keep the drive going, they take valuable time off the clock as well. They have to feel really good about that last completion.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Tua sets up to pass it. Touchdown! Tua finding his old Alabama teammate Jalen Waddle. And the Dolphins get an important score there to extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Well, that's certainly going to bump up the old win probability index because now it's a 2-score game here in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you're taking me into that deep water now. Win probability index. This game's definitely not over. We're not looking at a 0.5% or something. It's just 2 scores. But the way that this team has played, to me, what I've seen, they absolutely deserve to win this game. They've been the better team by far throughout.
Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that pushes the lead up to 11. Now after the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Sanders. This fielded right at the goal line. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the 4th quarter. This drive becomes very critical.
DC, ready?
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 21. And they run with Edwards off the option. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. This linebacking core, they've done a good job of keeping that running game in check, haven't they?
They certainly have, and what they'll also do when this game is over is thank the guys up front, the big defensive line, because they've kept them clean, so to speak, not letting blockers get to them, allowing them to run to the football and keep that running game bottled up.
Now a throw here to his running back, and he gets it here to right around the 24 before he's out of bounds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. 3rd and 7 now.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big one there on 3rd down. They hit for 30 yards.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Mike McDaniel, he's going to ask him to take a closer look at this call, and out comes the challenge flag. Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide, and I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call. So the challenge there does not go their way. This will indeed remain a completed pass.
Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Oh, let's turn it up.
Now Jackson on first down. Complete to Likely. Call it a gain of 6 on the play, and that will bring up second down.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Jackson. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. Only able to gain a couple there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and 2.
That was an okay hook up there with his tight end, but unfortunately, they didn't get the kind of yards they had hoped for. That's going to bring up 3rd down.
3rd and 2. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. And oh, he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Now this is going to be a quarterback draw. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Now they'll come up 2nd and 7. Here's Jackson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Baltimore. Isaiah Likely. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Ravens have made it a 1-score game again here in the 4th. So how about that for an answer? They get the touchdown there, and it's back to a 1-score game here in the 4th.
And that's what these guys have done all game long because they've scratched and slashed their way to stay in this game. And by now we should all realize they're not going away. Now the pressure again swings to their defense because they're going to need to find some way to get the ball back.
Jackson here, he's going to look to throw. And oh, it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And the Dolphins are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line.
Well, as most teams do in their 2-point attempt, they pass the ball. Instead, it gets intercepted. And remember, if you pick it off, you get a chance to take it all the way back, get 2 points yourself, right?
Yeah, not the case there, but that's why you got to be really careful with those throws, especially to the outside. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken at the goal line. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Now we get Tyreek Hill and the rest of the Miami offense back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They'll start on the ground with Mostert. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
Here's Mostert, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got it. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding, keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On second down, a run by Achane.
And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that.
And this is why the head coach gets paid the big bucks. Look at where they are in this situation, partner. Do you throw the ball here in a long-distance situation? Do you run it again and trust your defense and make sure you take care of the ball and punt it away? What kind of options do you have here, and what do you trust more on your team?
Yeah, they may have just pushed him back into that throwing situation. We'll see.
On third down, here comes Mostert.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. The Dolphins will send out the punter now as he's on here to punt it away. Fielded at the 20. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Ravens, they'll take over. Jackson and the Ravens, here they come. Down by 5, a little under a minute 50 remaining. How will this thing pan out? We'll watch as they come up on first down.
Jackson.
Setting up the screen here to Edwards. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
Here's Jackson.
And he's caught Bateman. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
Brandon's okay what they're doing right now. Still able to work the middle of the field, but you know sooner or later they're going to have to stop the clock.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Throwing, Jackson. Powering forward. And he was able to shed 1 tackle but could not get away from there. Now a pause, and there's an injured Raven in need of some assistance. So as the medical staff takes a look, we'll step aside.
Playmaker, step up. I know. Let's go, man. Let's go, man.
2nd and 6 coming up. Jackson. Throw caught by Flowers.
And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense.
A big play looming on 3rd down. Now Jackson. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Now a timeout called for by the offense. as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
Hey, what we got? Let's go, fellas.
This offense cannot stop the clock now. No timeouts remaining as they come up here first down. Jackson to throw. And that is incomplete. These are the spots this stage of the game where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Here's Jackson. And that one too wide and incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Jackson to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So this defense, they looked a little shaky to start the drive, but bottom line, they're a play away from finishing it off.
They rocked them a little bit on this drive, didn't they? But as you and I both know, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. They have a chance to end it right here.
Here we go. It's Jackson on 4th down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and it's looking like the Dolphins are going to win the football game.
Down to an E goes Tua, and that should just about do it. Well, this ball game was close throughout. Remember, it was neck and neck at intermission, neck and neck at the end, but a great job to come in here in a tough environment, Charles, and get the victory.
Yeah, tough environment indeed. How about all the people we can hear shouting from their seats right below us, partner? They weren't real happy that their team didn't keep the home field. How about how these visitors